first area is like, how do you identify a problem actually within, what problem are you solving with Lean Canvas? So what's the first step to kind of start figuring that out?
Yep. So really good question. A lot of entrepreneurs will actually skip that step and they'll jump to the solution and start creating a really cool app or a really cool website or a great piece of tech. But what we need to do is look at what's the problem. So to your question, you need to really unpack that first. A lot of entrepreneurs spend a lot of time working out what's the problem here, how big is the problem, what is the problem, how big it is. And the easiest way to identify a problem is to think about just things you do in your everyday life. There's usually challenges, usually barriers, usually friction points, pain points in your daily life that you just go, there could be a better way of doing that. There could be a better way of doing this. If this is a problem for me, maybe it's a problem for other people. And you really start unpacking that. So the easiest way to identify a problem is to just look around just what's going on in our, I encourage young entrepreneurs to start with their local community. There are so many problems just in your backyard, in the suburb you live in.
Right.
Start small. Even high school students, I encourage them to start maybe at your school. What are the problems in your school? Where you could come up with an idea or a solution that solves a problem for the 2,000 students in your high school.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then you can just, that's micro, and then you can just roll it up.
Bit of lateral thinking. You have to understand, what the people around you are doing, why are they doing it, and how can you make that better?
So for example, let's just go off the cuff here. This just came to me. I'm a student at high school right now, and I want to be an entrepreneur. I identify a problem in my school. For example, school canteens are still very traditional in the sense that recess and lunchtime, everyone still lines up at the canteen.
Recess, now that's a word I haven't heard in a while.
Yeah, or morning tea. Everyone's still lining up. I still see this at schools. If I was an entrepreneur in high school now, knowing what I know, is there a quicker way to order your lunch? Is there a way that we can have some sort of smartphone technology linked to the app, linked to the ordering of the school canteen? Why do we have to line up to order food at a school canteen in 2020? We should just be picking up our lunch. Should be all done the night before, or ordering whatever you need to order, and it's already for you to be picked up.
Maybe like the Amazon store can have sensor-proof or sensor-based shelving and
or a coffee cart. Let's flip it. Let's go another way. Let's go something completely different. Something more practical. Everyone loves coffee. If I'm in a 2,000 student school, we know that teachers love coffee too. Well, why couldn't we have a really cool barista coffee cart set up in the mornings, lunchtimes, even after school when you need to pick me up? That's 3 times in the day that you can have transactions going in your coffee cart. Anyway, I'm just breaking it down practically because it doesn't have to always be an app.
Right.
It doesn't have to be technology. It could be I'm solving a problem where I know everyone loves to drink coffee, but I see teachers going out to the shops to buy good coffee. Or what if you could bring it into the school?
That's really interesting. I know that I probably wouldn't have thought about something like that in high school. I was more entrepreneurial in the sense that I was looking to start my own service-based business outside of school, just for cash reasons. So I just wanted a new flow of cash. And I said, well, what do I already know? Let's do something about that and build something. I started a babysitting service.
There you go.
So I would pack all the kids into one house one day a week, so I could have multiple clients at once. I didn't know it at the time, but looking back, so, wow, it was actually a really good move. But
that's the way to go. So you were solving a problem.
Right.
You just didn't do it in the school environment. That's fine. You did it just outside. But it was still a local.
It's interesting.
Community problem that you were solving, right? For parents in the local area, offering a babysitting service.
And the best person to solve a local issue is a local person because you're in it every day.
And that's the best bit about it, Brian, is that a lot of young people feel, I don't have much to add because I'm just a young person. in terms of coming up with a business. I'm too young. But they don't realize that if you're a young person living in your community and you go and pitch to businesses in your community saying, hey, I'm a young person living in this community. I've created this business to help our community. What better narrative and what better story to tell to start building your business? I'm a young person living in this local area that wants to solve a problem for our local area to make it a better place with this idea. Well, doesn't that sound like a good narrative?
It does.
Why wouldn't I, if I was a business owner, if you approached me as a business owner saying, I'd love to get your support, would you like to,
even the
support
town
me?
with grants,
Yeah,
the city,
or you approach the local
whatever.
mayor or whatever it may be. And that's the untapped potential that I always think a lot of young people overlook, is they think they've got to go out and solve the global problems before solving the local ones. And I always use this idea of the entrepreneurship apprenticeship.
Okay. Find
Follow
someone
me?
that you want to work with.
No, learning about entrepreneurship
Okay.
as an apprentice. Learning about how to start selling something. Learning about solving a problem on a small level.
Right.
Because if you're an apprentice in this entrepreneurship journey, once you learn how to do that at a young age, then you can start scaling quite quickly because you've learned it. You've done an apprenticeship in entrepreneurship, and that usually happens in high school. It usually happens when you're 14 years old or 12 years old. It's happening right now.
Well, so many people are just coming out of
So many people are
quarantine
doing
or
it right
lockdown
now.
and
Yep.
saying, what am I doing with my life?
Yep.
Why did my business fail? Or why did my business succeed in this time?
Yep.
Or why am I doing this job still?
Yep.
And they're reassessing everything they're doing.
Yep.
All right.
So anyway, so that's why.
So problem.
Yeah.
Find what problem you're solving first.
Mhm.
Don't just come out with a solution. Hey,
Don't do
I need
that.
another
Another app.
Yeah, it's
No.
how many apps are out there
Yeah.
right now?
It's
Oh,
heaps.
there's a lot of money
Yep.
to be invested in apps for
Yep.
sure. But whether they're going to be long term useful or successful is another.
25 million apps. I read an article. 25 million apps.
Only.
About 10 that actually make money. It's basically what entrepreneurs, if they're going to go down this lean canvas, your first step in the problem is the critical bit. Because if the problem's not big enough, or it's not painful enough, or there's not enough barriers, whatever it may be, if the problem is not there, you will not have a business.
There's a lot of businesses just for entrepreneurs' pain points. I think entrepreneurs have the most pain points out of anyone, really.
Yes. There's enough problems in our ecosystem that need solving.
And that's what you do on campus a lot of times. You're the entrepreneur in
Part
residence
of,
here.
yeah. Is to remove some of that friction or barriers.
Grease that track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even fears. I mean, at the end of the day, to your point at the start of the show was around that just getting going.
Yeah.